Hello and welcome to this News 8 special presentation, Veterans Voices. I'm Gil Simmons. In the next half hour, we are recognizing and honoring the men and women who have served our great country. A shout out to all fellow veterans. I had the honor of serving in the Marine Corps for 6 years, back between 1990 and 1996, as a meteorologist and oceanographer. All right, more on that later. First, let's get to our first story. Well, for some, Veterans Day is all about keeping family history and memories of our loved ones alive. News 8's Laura Hutchinson takes us inside a hidden gem right in West Haven, and what she found actually turned into a personal journey into her own family history.
This is kind of where everything starts. This is the Revolutionary War.
Behind every corner,
They ended up coming right through West Haven. They landed in 2 areas.
stories of real people from Connecticut
We have a backpack that belonged to Antonio Darnell.
who served our nation.
This particular lady lived about 2 miles away from the museum.
Our tour guide,
Our soldiers would be on one side.
Ed Casey,
German soldiers would be on the other side.
the curator at the West Haven Veterans Museum and Learning Center,
This is a Vietnam-era Jeep.
who has a passion for keeping local family military history alive.
95% of the things in this museum are donated by local families. And basically what we do is tell their story and their family story.
So in here,
So this is our female section.
Go ahead, take the walk with them.
Here we have a Civil War tent.
Inside every tent
If our guys were lucky enough to live in the field.
and special room.
wow,
Yeah, this room is, this came out of the Gulf Street Armory.
Bunkers depicting true living conditions of our loved ones who served.
This is a Korean era bunker.
Stories of the rich history our state holds.
It's not very well lit in here, but you can see this type of bunker would have looked like. The British actually landed here in 1779 and came right through West Haven, and they occupied New Haven for a short time. What they ended up doing is they didn't burn the town down because they said it was too pretty of a place to burn.
But my connection with Ed didn't start with a museum tour for a story. Turns out it started long before I even met him.
A while ago, this really nice lady called me. She wanted help putting her husband's uniform together. He was a navigator on a B-24 bomber in World War II. I saw you mention your daughter's name on television, and her name was Lucy, and I put 2 and 2 together, and I said, could it be? Could Lucy Hutchinson be Laura's grandmother?
My beautiful grandmother Lucy Hutchinson has long passed, but Ed remembers her.
Her family went all the way back to the Civil War and had members that were fighting on both sides.
Turns out she had him help preserve our family's history and artifacts.
There's also some pictures and documents from your great-grandfather.
And here he is, all these years later, showing her granddaughter these items for the first time.
Laura, this is where your family's items are located. And as I said before, I met with your grandmother Lucy, and she offered me this grouping that belonged to your great-uncle who was killed in action in New Guinea. There's pictures of his plane here. There's his Purple Heart that was given to him posthumously. You just don't see signed documents from Douglas MacArthur too often.
The document alerting my family he died, signed by World War II General Douglas MacArthur.
It's very tragic the way his life ended, but
you know, I didn't know that.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
that's what Lucy told me.
And that's him.
That's your great-great-grandfather.
Wow. It's surreal. It is.
Well, I'm so happy I could do this for you.
You've done a really nice job with this. It's beautiful.
An entire museum of local families, including mine, and yes, even his.
It must mean a lot to have your father here too.
It is. And my dad died a couple of years ago, a couple of days before he turned 95. So I miss him a lot.
Casey meticulously staging these display cases with care, knowing their families may someday see it. A passion for this retired school teacher to keep learning and preserving, researching for families seeking answers.
And you know, we got to keep the memory of these people alive. And if I can't find the information about their family member, what I'll do is I'll go on a database and I'll research it.
a man with a big heart and love for the stories of our beloved veterans. In West Haven, Laura Hutchinson, News 8.
Talk about an amazing story right there, and I know Hutch was saying how much it meant to her to be able to see those items there in that museum. Totally awesome. Well, nearly 100 Connecticut National Guardsmen were recently deployed overseas, and that was last month. While we don't know exactly where they are stationed, their families got a chance to send them off in Windsor Locks. News 8's Zuri Hoffman brings us along.
Goodbyes are never easy, especially for the families here.
It's sad, we won't see him for a while, but
That's because many of their sons, daughters, husbands, and relatives are being deployed. We don't know where exactly they're going or for what reason, just that they're headed to the U.S. Southern Command. It'll be about a year until they see each other again.
This is his courageous moment that he's always wanted. He's always wanted to be a soldier, always wanted to serve and protect, and to see him actually finally doing it, I'm excited.
Myra Smith couldn't be prouder of her son. His first deployment, something he talked about as a kid.
He's breaking so many stigmas and so many stereotypes of our young black men.
That sense of pride is what other families are feeling too.
it feels good though, knowing that he can do it.
And while there's plenty of hugs, kisses, and tears, there's also things to help boost morale, like this smiley good boy, thanks to USO New England.
There's a lot of emotions going on. We're here to try to make it as pleasant, especially for the kids, give them something to do.
As they say their final goodbyes. Families already counting down the days until they'll be reunited with their loved ones.
That's going to be another, tearful day.
In Windsor Locks, Zuri Hoffman, News 8.
And we are sending positive vibes to wherever they are all stationed. Well, a museum in Vernon is dedicated to the Civil War, and it is now part of the Connecticut Freedom Trail. News 8's Ann Nyberg tells us all about this new exhibit.
There's an important new exhibit up at the New England Civil War Museum and Research Center in Vernon. The exhibit features the stories of black soldiers. The museum is now a part of the Connecticut Freedom Trail. We'll talk about that too. My guests are Dan Hayden, Executive Director of the New England Civil War Museum, and Tammy Denise of the Connecticut Freedom Trail Outreach Director, who also helped put this exhibit together. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
All right, Dan, for somebody who's never been to this museum, where is it? What's its significance, and the room in which it's placed also is important.
Yeah, absolutely. So the museum is actually a museum within a museum itself. The town of Vernon, when it wanted to celebrate the end of the Civil War, decided instead of the statue that you see of the soldier on a green, they wanted a living memorial. So they wanted it to be used in perpetuity. So it's also the town hall of the town of Vernon. But the part that the museum is in was set aside specifically for the use of Civil War veterans to meet and to commune after the Civil War as the Grand Army of the Republic, the veterans organization there. So it's been a entity since 1889 when the building was originally first laid down in construction.
If the walls could talk.
Absolutely.
How did you help put this exhibit together?
Well, when I reached out to Dan, it took us about 2 years. They had to do research. They already had the things in place, but it had to be put in a specific way so that it was more welcoming and inviting to those who wouldn't normally go. And after 2 years of research, putting it together, the exhibit is beautiful. It is one of the exhibits. It has a living history, and it's the reading of letters from a mother and son who went off to war. And so it is so well put together. And when you first walk in, you get to see that it's about everyone being invited.
What are we going to see when we come to this museum in this particular exhibit?
Yeah, you're going to see the materials here. So this is a sweeping shot of the main hall that we have there. That's where the veterans originally met after the Civil War. And it includes the main tour. So we have entitled that Seth, Joseph, Lizzie, and George, because we wanted this to be very personal, very human, emotional presentation of who these people were after the American Civil War and what their experiences would have been like, rather than the date, time, place.
So you can live through it. As people go to this exhibit, Tammy, it is also interactive. You will hear people reading stories, reading letters, important in our time.
Yes, it is. With the erasure of history ever prevalent each day, it is so important that the accurate and complete story is told, and it's important to be told from a human standpoint. It needs to be acknowledged, and so it needs to be known that the history is here and it's not going to go away. And so the Connecticut Freedom Trail stands out as that instrument of being able to keep those narratives in the forefront, and institutions like Dan has been very helpful, and we're glad that they are a part of the Freedom Trail.
And we should know that people of color signed up before they even could.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Thank you both for being here.
Thank you so much, Ann.
And I hope a lot of people come and see this important exhibit.
Thank you.
And for more on the New England Civil War Museum and Research Center, go to WTNH.com or the News 8 app.
All right, Ann, thank you so much for that. Well, 65 veterans, their families, volunteers as well, flew down to D.C. as part of Honor Flight Connecticut. Kicking things off with a massive send-off at Bradley International. I actually had the honor of speaking at the send-off ceremony, even broke out with a few push-ups, and I have been on this trip. Now, once they get down to D.C., they visit monuments and memorials to commemorate their service and recognize fellow service members who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Veterans on the honor flight, this one right here, included veterans from the Korean War and the Vietnam War. Now, there were actually 2 World War II veterans on this flight. Listen to this. One of them not only served in World War II, but also in Korea and even Vietnam.
I don't know what to think. I feel honored, but I don't know. There's so many of us that did just the same thing I did, and you never hear of them probably. So, and I feel honored. I really do. But I love this country.
To go to the wall with a Vietnam veteran, to spend time at World War II and Korean memorials with veterans of those conflicts is life-changing, and it's started as a passion. It's now borderline obsession. We love what we do, and we love who we do it with, and we love honoring veterans.
Big shout out to Dan and his entire team. Now, I've always been honored to be a part of this special event, which happens twice a year. And you know, you should learn more about how you can sign up your favorite veteran, and you can check it out right on the website just by searching Honor Flight Connecticut. And we'll have that link for you and more info on the News 8 app and WTNH.com. Coming up, a story of a long overdue honor, a Purple Heart for a local man who continues to serve our country today. And now, some of the great veteran pictures sent in by our viewers. Look at all these great photos. We will be right back. Oh, welcome back. A special and long overdue honor this year for a Connecticut service member wounded in combat. News 8's Ken Pierce has Adam Jackson's story.
Whatever you got, whatever you can get up and running, brother.
A strafe of bullets went across the road, and I remember everything seemed like it slowed down.
You're taking left side again.
It was June 2008. Adam Jackson was in the Army in Afghanistan. His unit was patrolling, looking to draw out the Taliban. It worked. The Taliban ambushed them.
For the first 5-10 minutes, it was absolute chaos. It was RPGs buzzing overhead, hundreds of bullets whizzing by the trucks.
A buddy in a different vehicle had a camera rolling. That thudding is the .50 caliber machine gun Jackson was firing, and he kept firing.
Oh, RPG round to the left. Hey,
as a rocket-propelled grenade hit the middle of the 3 vehicles, and as he got hit with shrapnel.
A bullet hit my truck or hit my weapon, and it created bullet shards, and it hit me in the hands. I was wearing gloves, so I didn't even know.
All these years later, he is now a first sergeant in the Air Force and married to News 8 meteorologist Ashley Baylor, who encouraged him to apply for the medal you get for being injured in combat, the Purple Heart.
When you're in an active war zone, there are much more pressing concerns than applying for medals, and Adam's Purple Heart paperwork either got lost or was never filed in the right place. But over the years, it seemed more important to him, especially after he married Ashley and gained a good advocate.
At first, they were told the rules had changed and shrapnel in his hands no longer met the criteria.
When he got denied the first time because they felt his injuries weren't severe enough, I said, that's not good enough. You know, if you're injured in a specific manner when you're deployed, you deserve that Purple Heart.
So she asked Senator Richard Blumenthal for help. Within a few weeks, he got the Department of Defense to change its mind.
His service and sacrifice for this country really should have been acknowledged and recognized without our having to intervene, but we were proud and passionate in doing it.
To Ashley, the medal is about more than one injury.
Being deployed to Afghanistan, the effects the burn pits have had on him, the effects the PTSD has had on him, it goes so much deeper than just what's visible on the outside.
For Sergeant Jackson, it's another reason to keep serving his country.
It's a sense of pride and a commitment to keep freedom free.
And to keep fighting, even injured and under fire. I'm Kent Pierce, News 8.
Let me give him a salute right now. Thank you for your service, Adam. Well, coming up, Agent Orange and the toxic, damaging effects it has had on descendants of the Vietnam War and to those Vietnam veterans. How local advocates are actually taking their fight all the way to Washington to push for more research. And now let's highlight more great veteran pictures that you sent in. Well, there's a push, welcome back by the way, there's a push for more research on the effects of toxin exposure on descendants of veterans. Now, in particular, Vietnam veterans and their children, and they say exposure to Agent Orange caused genetic damage. News 8's Kent Pierce tells us about a local senator who wants to see this happen.
On a good day, you can't tell Molly Loomis was born with spina bifida.
You can't see pain on looking at someone. You can't see chronic infections. You can't see the impact of surgeries.
And for years, she didn't see the connection between her birth defect and her father's service in the Navy in Vietnam, but she kept researching.
I plugged in the name of his ship, the Ogden, and all of a sudden references to Agent Orange started popping up.
The U.S. military sprayed Agent Orange on the jungles of Vietnam to kill the foliage and make it harder for the enemy to hide, but it's since been shown to cause cancer and birth defects. Jerry Augustine knows he was exposed, and so was the gear he brought back from Vietnam.
My young son was 2 years old at the time and started to play with my gear, and he even used it for Halloween and everything, and he became 100% disabled.
That son died this year. Another son of his also died. A third is currently sick. Senator Richard Blumenthal is now reintroducing a bill that expands research on health issues among descendants of toxic exposed veterans.
There is almost no cost involved in the research to be done here, which can be, in effect, augmented or added to other programs that are already ongoing.
That bill is named after Molly Loomis, who hopes it will help other people who struggle with health issues and struggle to find the source of those issues.
And it's a really painful place to be, and so if there were more answers for more children out there, that even one person, that means the world to me.
Blumenthal says Molly's bill simply ran out of time in the last session, and he hopes for bipartisan support this year. In West Haven, I'm Kent Pierce, News 8.
Supporting local vets by supporting local business. Coming up, we're going to be taking a little trip to a barbecue joint owned by a U.S. Army veteran. And now, some more veteran pictures sent in by our great News 8 viewers. Welcome back. Who's hungry? Hey, barbecue certainly brings people together, and one veteran-owned restaurant off of I-84 hopes to bring you a good time and make your mouth water too. News 8's Caroline LaCour is cruising Connecticut to the Milldale section of Southington.
You might drive by and catch a whiff before you even catch the sign, and that's exactly how folks here at Pickrick Barbecue wants it. Here, it's a little bit more than just about the lunch and more about the people.
I'm going to meet people that are my own ilk. I can meet other veterans because I got a chopper hanging from this. People know.
For owner Daniel Lanigan, good food is all about people to share it with, leading him to get into the restaurant business after a career shift back in 2007. It started with a food truck.
The intent was to clean it up and to sell the whole business, and I inadvertently got married to it.
Now with a brick and mortar location where customers have plenty to look at while enjoying their order.
I'm a dyed-in-the-wool gearhead. I love cars. The joke around here is that my crew smokes the food and the boss smokes the tires.
Their go-tos, pulled pork sandwiches, ribs, chicken, and of course, classic barbecue sides. Cowboy beans are the spot's biggest hit.
It has like a barbecue flavor to it with a little pulled pork or brisket meat. It's actually really, really flavorful.
Passing along the Meriden-Waterbury Turnpike in Milldale, Ashley Mitchell says she saw the sign and had to stop, ordering a platter with smoked mac and cheese with pulled pork.
So those look pretty awesome too, pretty hot and fresh, so can't wait to try it.
That's the sentiment Lanigan says he strives for and plans to deliver with every bite.
So everything in here has a component of people dig it one way or the other. If they don't dig it, we don't do it.
Cruising Connecticut in Milldale, Caroline LaCour, News 8.
Well, thank you so much for joining our News 8 special, Veteran Voices, and thank you to all of you who have served our great country. Now, I salute you, and I'm also saluting these two gentlemen here. First of all, the late Conrad Greb right over there. That's my grandfather who served in the U.S. Army Air Corps in World War II. And this guy right here, this is my dad, Gilbert Simmons, who served 2 tours in Vietnam with the U.S. Army. I thank you for joining us, and I salute all of you for tuning in as well.